It is genuinely hard to remember about the existence of Pokémon Sleep. And I think it's not just because of like the nature of this thing, like a sleeping app. I don't even have a problem with that. I think it's the fact that like they announced it and then like years went by without them mentioning it. We assumed it was canceled and then it kind of just was here. So there's some weird thing in my brain where I have a hard time remembering that it's actually real. And it's funny because I should use it. I feel like I could have gotten at least one good video out of it, you know? Because like I struggled with insomnia, and so like, I don't know, can Pokemon help me sleep? If you kind of gamify sleeping, is that something that would help? Should I do a big deep dive on this, see if it actually helps me? I don't really know. But apparently it has been around for about a year, and the Pokemon Company just reported that within its first year, it made $100 million. $100 million. And that is pretty darn good. Sure, it's not Pokemon Go. You know, it's not billions of dollars, but like, that's nothing to sneeze at. $100 million, especially you consider this app. I mean, it's not even a full game. It's hard for me to imagine that they spent too much money on this thing, on developing this thing. I don't know. I know any kind of mobile online kind of game, it takes like maintenance. You got to have a team who's like creating content for it and stuff. Sure, but like, I don't know. 100 million has got to be pretty good. And it's funny because like I haven't really heard anybody talk about it. I've certainly never heard of anyone using it. I guess that's not super surprising because it's not even like a game. It's not even like this big, huge social thing. It's more just like a little app that you use for sleep. So I get it. But another reason we haven't really heard much about it is because it is mostly popular in Japan. Of that $100 million, 73 million comes from Japanese users. Then like another 17 comes from the US, and then all the rest is etc. But it seems that in Japan, it's decently popular, and apparently the game has been downloaded an estimated 9.8 million times, which is also pretty darn good. And then if you consider the $100 million in spending, then I guess that would mean each user is spending, approximately, roughly average of $10, which is, I mean, it really goes to show that if you get enough downloads for like a free-to-play thing, even just a little bit of money per user, and I know that's not how it works. You probably have more people doing free and then a few people spending more. At the same time, though, I'm not 100% sure because this doesn't seem to be like a mega super crazy monetized game. It's about sleep. It seems that there is, I don't know much about it, I haven't played it, but from what I'm seeing people say, there is like a premium currency kind of thing that you can get, you can buy, or you can earn by sleeping or whatever. But it mostly comes down to like the subscription plan. So we have no idea exactly what percentage of players are spending and how much they are spending, but I don't know. I guess I like seeing an average that kind of low, that if you did spread it out, it's just like every person spending about $10. It's reasonable, you know? Not every game needs to just be like, well, if you really want to play it the way it's supposed to be played, you gotta pay $5,000. And the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm reading about it, but even just talking about it right now, I really might try it out. It's a very strange idea, but I do like it, and I think it's commendable to create an app like this that its sole purpose is to track your sleep, and the whole point of tracking sleep is to help you sleep. You know, obviously it's a money-making thing. Obviously it is a capitalistic endeavor overall, but I don't know. Pokemon could come up with a lot of different stuff, and they can make a lot of different games. It's about little monsters that fight each other. They're RPGs. There's so much that you could do with it. So I just think that it is genuinely cool that they wanted to do something that would help people sleep. Because, like, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've been told, or if you've done the research. Sleep is very important. It's extremely, extremely important. It may be one of the most important things that you can do in your life. And most of us do not get enough sleep or good enough sleep. I know that I certainly struggle with it, and that affects every other area of your life. So the fact that they want to help people with that by putting a fun Pokemon kind of spin on it, it's cool. And they did the toothbrushing one too. That's cool too. That's not as big of a thing, you know, trying to get kids to brush their teeth. It's not quite as big, but it's still big. I like that. They're like, you know what? We're gonna have the most profitable IP in the entire universe. We're gonna bleed money from the audience with all of these trading cards and all of these these quarter-baked video games and all this DLC and stuff. But you know what? Let's give a little bit back. Let's give them a little bit of something that might actually help in their lives. I think it's great. Can we get a Pokemon app that helps remind you to stretch? Can that be next? That's a thing that I tend to struggle with, you know, just like all like the fighting type Pokemon. They just remind you to stretch. Pokemon stretch. Pokemon yoga. Can that be the next thing? I think that'd be cool. Followed by Pokemon taxes. You get a 10 diamond bonus if you do your taxes before April. Feed Snorlax and keep him happy by staying up to date on your quarterlies.